All right, welcome back. Price is still dropping. The big question is, how low will we go? This is Crypto Rolly, the crypto watch that never stops. Live technical analysis, price predictions, and trading. Remember, this is not financial advice. Do your own research. Trade at your own risk. Hit that like, subscribe, comment, tick the bell for notifications. All right, let's jump into it. You got a lot of red today. Bitcoin SV, though, up 11%. Ethereum had a little bit of a bounce when Bitcoin bounced. We'll have to see how this plays out for the rest of the day. But I would say a majority is in the red. And our volume looks really low. This is kind of surprising, actually. But today is President's Day, so low volume weekend, low volume holiday possibly. Okay, and the crypto fear and greed index has dropped down to a 49. We were all the way up to 60 something a couple of days ago, down to a 49. People are worried. Is this doomsday? I wouldn't say yet. Guys, remember, as long as we're above the weekly 21 EMA, we are still looking at a bull market narrative. Okay, so this pullback was something that we've been talking about for a while. It's finally happening. So this was expected. So today we're going to look at, different fib retracement levels, areas of support. Okay. We don't want to just be buying every little dump because that's like catching falling knives. You want to see an actual bounce sustain. You want to see a change in trend. Right now we're looking at lower highs. So we want to break that trend before we can feel confident moving back into long positions. Okay. The block halving, 84 days away, not too much longer. All right. And just a good news story, because there's a lot of bad, news stories, a lot of people calling for, lower levels. But you got Max Kaiser raised his price target to 400,000. I'm not going to read much more. I mean, this guy, he's definitely, a perma bull. And we all like to read these stories for some hopium. So, keep this in the back of your mind. One day, I don't know if it'll be 5 years from now or what, but he says 400,000. I mean, think about the gains on that. What is that, a 40x from 10,000? Woo! Okay. Anyways, let's go to the chart. There's a few things I want to talk about specifically, and then we'll break it down, our time frames. And actually, I'm going to start with the weekly and move down to the 4 hour. Okay, just when you zoom out, it doesn't look so ugly. When you start going closer to the 4 hour, it looks a little scary. Okay, so anyways, the biggest topic for me over the weekend was this RSI trend break. Okay. You do see the stochastics on the the stochastic on the daily coming down, but this right here was my biggest red flag. I've been talking about it over the past week or so to keep an eye out on it, and if this broke, that could be a sign for more downside action. And it did break. When it broke, I had a trend line over here drawn. Let me get rid of the fibs. We'll put those back in just a second. We had a trend line that was more drawn like this, I think. And when we broke that trend line, I was like, all right, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll adjust my trend line on price. But the only thing was I could not adjust my trend line on the RSI. So that was a big red flag to me. And since that red flag, we have only continued to go down further, okay? So I hope y'all had seen that in my previous videos or Twitter, and you can see how this is playing out right now. And not only did we break this rising trend line on the RSI, but we're also putting in lower lows. It started out with this lower low. You had, see, a low, higher low, higher low, higher low. This was your first lower low, and now this one's even lower than this one. So the trend has changed. And that's why I wasn't looking to just buy the dip. On the first opportunity we had a dip, I wasn't looking to buy it. Like that would have been right here. I could have possibly had that opportunity, when we were still holding this trend line support here. I could have held it or bought there. But I saw this and I said, you know what? I don't like it. and I'm going to be patient here. I told y'all I hedged short at 10K. Basically, it's the same as if you had just moved all your Bitcoin to Tether, but I don't use Tether. I'm on a margin platform. So basically, you just put in a short that covers your whole portfolio so that if the price drops, that you don't lose any USD value, okay? You gain BTC actually, and you lose no USD. In fact, I kind of a little more like a 1.5x. So I will profit USD too if we continue falling, okay? So the RSI break, that was a big deal. If you go to the 12-hour, you can also see we're starting to put in these lower highs. You can see we had our high here, and then we had a bounce. I put a long here, just the trend was my friend, but I had a pretty tight stop here in case we did drop. And I had said 10K at that time needed to hold. So we came up and we were rejected here, forming a new lower high, lower high. And once we broke 10K, I had to take my own advice and I flipped short, and I'm holding it until I see a change in the trend, because we don't know how far this could go. Okay, I'm going to give you different levels, but we don't know at this point how far this will go. So I don't want to aggressively take a profit here and then not be sure if I should long or short, end up losing my profits from just uncertain trading. I rather just let this one play out. And if we come back up to 10K, I have my stop a little higher than 10K, and I'll also monitor it. It doesn't have to be a hard, 10K and I'm back in. But I'm going to be watching for that level to see, if I want to, exit my short or not. And if we come up there and I end up, closing break even or a slight loss, it's okay. The risk, is very minimal, but the reward is huge. I mean, I'm already in massive profits. We could come down, to mid 8,000s. What if we, we've all seen this in Bitcoin. What if we just have a massive drop like that? Okay, so my risk to reward is pretty nice right now. Okay, and I'm willing to just be patient on this. So we have the lower highs. You can see on the 4-hour as well how we're forming this high, lower high. We came up to test here and then rejected, down, up again. So high, lower high, down, putting in another lower high. This is just on lower time frames, but it's definitely something to be aware of, okay? And then also important is the breakout retest, okay? I'm going to go ahead. Well, no, we can leave this here. So when we broke this trend line, the original trend line, we broke below and we came back up to retest it, rejected. This support line, the new adjusted one, was holding support here. We finally broke it, came down, came up, retested it as resistance, rejected. Then we had this horizontal at 9,700. I had drawn. You had support, support, support. When we dropped, it formed support. It was holding support. And I said yesterday, if we lose 9,700, we'll fall beneath and most likely come back up and retest it as resistance. Well, what happened? We dropped beneath it. We bounced off of this support here and retested it as resistance. Currently being rejected. I'm looking at a 4-hour candle confirmations, okay? So we still have a little more time in this 4-hour candle. But what I would like to see is, if we were talking a bullish scenario, that we close a candle body, the thick part, not the skinny wick, the body. Close a 4-hour body back above this previous support, now resistance. But if we can get back above it, that would be a good sign. It doesn't mean that, hey, we're going to 12K now, but it's just a good sign, okay? Same. And then if we get above that, we're going to want to get above this resistance line, okay? So support and resistance, you want to see 4-hour minimum confirmations. So now we have a support line here. And why did I draw this support line here? Well, it was resistance, resistance. We bounced above it, flipped it as support, and you can see we found support here. Okay, so the next level, and we do this level by level, will be, can we break beneath 94.50? Will we close a 4-hour candle below this horizontal? And then when we break this, I won't be surprised if we retest that as resistance. You see how this goes? Retest or breakout, retest. Common, all right? So that's that. I wanted to explain that, and I hope I made that clear for everybody. And now let's look at our Fibonacci's, okay? The Fibonacci retracement. So now that we definitely are in a pullback scenario, we're looking at like a bearish trend for now. Short term, this is not macro. I'm not talking about 6K. I'm not talking about 5K. We're just talking about a short-term pullback, okay? Let me go to a cleaner chart. I don't want to get rid of those in case I have to share it later. So let me maybe go to BitMEX real quick. Okay, BitMEX. Before I go to my Fibonacci, you can see we are in this rising channel. We have broken out of it. We retested it and falling down, okay? Also, if you zoom out and you look at this, if you're using the top here, you have let me hide that. Okay, top, and you have a wick here and then a wick here. So 1, 2, 3 touches. 3 touches to confirm a trend. You do have this descending trend line here. You know, you can also draw a trend line here as well, okay? And we'll see, you know, if we do break above this line, that will probably be an area of interest. But for now, we have boom, 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 okay? And we have this support down here. This is worst case scenario if we come all the way here, okay? But I just have this drawn out just in case. You know, I talked about this on the weekend. We had this descending channel here. We broke bullish, where we were in a bullish channel, and now we're breaking bearish. So to be fair, if this came down and broke out and we went up here, it's fair to break down. So let's talk about where we could break down to. All right, so let me trash. No, I'm not going to trash all of them. We'll just do that there. Okay, Fibonacci, going to the daily. Guys, if you like these videos, if they're helpful, if you've been learning, definitely please hit the like, share with your friends. Definitely whatever can help the channel, I definitely appreciate it. Okay, let's see, Fibonacci. Here we go. So we'll draw from the swing low to the swing high, okay? Swing low, swing high. And we can see that the 0.236 is at 9,600, and that's acting as support now. Not only is the 0.236 9,600, but 9,600 has been that level I've been talking about for a long time. And we're currently holding support right now. If we start breaking beneath it, could get ugly. But this was holding support along here, resistance here, temporary support here. If we break beneath it, we may get a retest to it and rejection. You know, support flipped resistance. What that might even look like something like this. Hold on one second. Where's my brush? So say we drop down to the 0.382, get a nice bounce all the way back to 9,600, up, rejected. Starting to look like left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Not saying this is going to happen, but if it does, and this is a head and shoulders pattern, you're going to look at a target down here. Okay? So let's get rid of those. So you have your 0.236 at 9,600. Your 0.382 is the next Fibonacci level of support, down around 9,000. I think 9,000 is a fair number, and we'll look at other time frames and see how 9,000 lines up. But then next at your 0.5, you're around 8,500. And then the golden retracement is at 0.618. The golden retracement It's called that for a reason. And this is down at 8,057. Okay. Excuse me, I need a sip of water here. Live, baby, we're live. So just keep this on your radar, and that's why I'm going to hold my short for the time being. There's just a lot of potential room to go. I am bullish, and we're going to look at everything, to support that. Okay, but you just have to keep these in mind. All right, so let's go do our normal breakdown. We'll start with the weekly. Get rid of this Fibonacci's. Excuse me. Actually, let's just go to the Bitstamp chart. All right, hopefully not too many lines. Oh, I'm still on my drawing tool. Okay. Hide that. Let's go to the EMA. So above the 21 EMA, bull market, below bear market. Okay, we're above it. Support down here at 8,731. The blue 10 simple, pretty close to crossing above it, 86.76. We cross above it, that will be a bullish cross on the weekly moving averages. That won't happen till next weekly's candles close, or this week candle closes, next week candle opens. You could possibly have that. If price stays in this region, I think it will happen. We'll have to see. If we get a big dump, maybe it doesn't cross. But nonetheless, 87.30 is your support. Okay, I don't want to see us go any further below that, honestly. Maybe we can get a wick below, but I want to see this weekly candle close or any weekly candle close above here, okay? And then on top of that, our Bollinger Bands, you can see that we did hit the upper band resistance. So this was definitely an area that we might had a pullback at, and we are experiencing that. And the middle BB is coming in at 84.26, a little lower than the 21 EMA. But as long as we maintain in this bullish zone in the Bollinger Bands, then we can continue talking about a bull market, okay? So this is just a pullback in a bull market. This is the good side of the story, okay? Let's look at our Ichimoku clouds. Ichimoku clouds, we also hit resistance at the top of the cloud. Your bottom of the cloud is going to come in at 86.83. So using Ichimoku, that would be your support. So pretty much, 85 to 8,700 on a weekly time frame, you're looking at pretty strong support, I would say, okay? Our stochastic, this is the first hint at a cross down that we have seen on the weekly chart, I think, okay? So we'll have to see how this plays out. Of course, the week just started. If we continue higher by end of week, this little blue guy here, and it's not even that severe, he will straighten up, okay? But if we continue to fall, this guy will start to kind of bend this way. This is a hint, but plenty of price action to go. Your RSI also looking like a bit of a peak, okay? But this can all change. Plenty of time to go. Going down to the daily. Actually, I'm not going to do a full breakdown on the 3-day or 2-day, but I just want to show you the stochastics on the 3-day have crossed down. On the 2-day, 2-day stochastics are also coming down, okay? So those are those are bear signals. But just looking at the 2-day Ichimoku, we're finding support right here, okay? On the 1-day, our stochastics still coming down. We talked about this RSI breaking. And on the daily, we are losing the blue conversion line. We bounced off of it here, but we are trading beneath it. It's coming in at 97.87. If we get a daily close by end of today, if this candle body closes beneath it, that could be a signal that we come down further. Your pink baseline is all the way at 86.77, that 8,500 to 8,700 region. We do have this green cloud forming, so even if we keep, we come down in this region, we could find a bounce here and then continue our merry way up. Let's look at our Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands, pretty similar. We bounced off the middle BB. We might get a close beneath it. And then if we start trading in the bearish zone, your support is going to be here. This says 89.94, okay? So not so bad. This is more around that 9,000 target. Our moving averages, you have the 21 EMA. We found support. That was good to see on the moving averages because we saw that the 10 simple was strong support, but then when it broke, the yellow 21 EMA held us up. So we had the same scenario, but currently coming in at 96.70-ish, yellow 21 EMA, we are at 96.22. So if we get a daily close beneath that, that could trigger more downside to our 50 EMA coming in here at 9,056. Your pink 200 simple moving average is at 88.68. I want to see us stay above the pink 200 simple. That's a pretty critical level on the daily. Once we, this is kind of like the weekly 21 EMA. The pink 200 simple is pretty important to stay above and bull trends. And you can see when we had the massive breakdown in 2018, we came up here, we're rejected by it, and it held the price down. We were able to get above it here. We had a nice rally. We broke beneath it, rejected, tried to get above it, then fell back again. We saw rejection here. So we want to flip this as support, okay? But on top of that, the bulls are going to be screaming something very specific here, and I'll show you. Let's get rid of, how about we get rid of 100, get rid of this one. We'll just put these guys on. Okay, so I said our next support would be the orange 50 EMA or the pink 200 simple. This is the, sorry. Excuse me, guys. This is the 50 SMA, the 50 simple moving average on the daily, looking for a golden cross. So they're pretty close. They're almost kissing, not quite. So if you get the blue 50 over the pink 200 simple, that'll be a golden cross. It doesn't mean that anything has to happen immediately. Price could actually come down to test the cross before another leg up, okay? And if we do get a pretty massive dump, this might not even cross at all. So you want to watch this. But like I say, these golden crosses aren't like, okay, the second they cross, price is going to explode. I used to think like that, but it's not true. It's just maybe a long-term signal, okay? When you have a golden cross, especially like on a daily time frame, it's usually a macro signal that you're in a bull market. So this is just something good for the long term, but for the short term, I wouldn't put all of your, I wouldn't put your home, your car, your wife all on Bitcoin just because of the golden cross. How about that, okay? I wouldn't go all in just because of this right here. But macro level, this is good to see, okay? So that's that. Let me go back to my usual moving averages for the remainder of the video. So we looked at our Bollinger Bands, the moving averages, stochastics, okay? So now we're going down to the 12-hour. On the 12-hour, Stokes are still coming down, but starting to get low possibly, okay? But, guys, they can coast. You can see that. Just because it's getting low doesn't mean we'll have an immediate bounce like this. We might, but just remember that they can coast. And because I feel like the trend has kind of shifted short term, I'm not so sure that the cross will be such a great indicator, okay? Remember, when we're bullish, these crosses down weren't great. When we're bearish, these crosses up aren't so great, okay? When we're bullish, the cross up is amazing. When we're bearish, the cross down is amazing, okay? So, anyways, still coming down. No sign of a curl up or a bounce yet. So 12 hours still looking kind of nasty on the Stokes. Your RSI is coming down into the bearish territory as well. You can see you broke that trend on the RSI as well. We are finding support on the 50 EMA, on the 12-hour 50 EMA coming in at 95.50-ish. So you are finding support here. We did wick beneath it and trying to find support above it. If you break this level, your 100 EMA is down here at 9,034. So there's that 9K target coming into play again. And our Bollinger Bands, we are hitting the resist or the support down here. Okay, so could we get a bounce here? Possibly, but just remember the middle BB on the 12-hour is 10,033. We'll just call it a 10K. So as long as we're in this zone, you're in the bearish zone on the 12-hour Bollinger Band. So you're going to want to see us close back above the middle BB to continue higher. Ichimoku clouds. Ichimoku, you also close beneath this conversion line and your pink baseline support coming in at 93.56. The clouds way down here, but rising. If we continue further, though, this cloud could tighten up. We'll have to see how this price action happens. You know, we could just form a range in here and bounce off the cloud. So, you know, keep your eyes on the Ichimoku clouds. I don't talk about this green lagging line here, the lagging span, I believe it's called. But the thing about this is when it's above the price, you're bullish. When it's below the price, it's bearish. So we're still above it, but if you see this come beneath it, you could see, you know, more downside action. It could be a signal that we're actually bearish, okay? So that's what this lagging span is for, okay? Let's go on to our 4-hour. So going down to the 4-hour, we are in the cloud. We did have a bearish Kumo cross. The pink crossed above the blue, so this is a bearish cross on the 4-hour. We're in the middle of the cloud. Your support at the bottom of the cloud is 93.50. So if we lose 95, 94.50, 93.50, this area here could act as your next support. Lose that, we're talking 9K. Level by level, all right? Otherwise, your resistance is up here at 99.37, okay? 10K might be hard to beat this time around. All right, so just keep in mind the 10K 99.50 resistance. Let's go over to the Bollinger Bands, riding along this lower band here, and we are in the bearish zone. Your middle BB's at 99.70. We'll just call it a 10K, okay? EMA, MA. We are beneath the 100 EMA. We finally broke beneath it. We retested it. Your 10 simples coming down, governing price here. Yellow 21 EMA crossed beneath the 50 EMA. So in a strong trend, the 10 simple will govern price. 21 EMA would be the next one to be looking at for resistance, okay? Your 200 EMAs down here, the green 200 EMA at 93.39. All right, and my 377 EMA is down here at 88.70. That's more the macro support with our weekly 21 EMA and so forth. Okay, we looked at the top of the video. All right, stochastics. Stochastic on the 4-hour has been like just slowly coming down here. Will we get a cross up soon? Potentially. But you can see since the trend switched bearish, the cross up was not as strong as when we were bullish. Bullish cross up, great, great. Bear trend change, you know, the RSI, the rising trend line, yada, yada, yada. You can see that this wasn't the greatest signal on the bull side. And then maybe you thought it was going to, you know, cross up here. Again, not. Again, so we got to flip the bias slightly. Our RSI on the 4 hours getting pretty low, but it's not quite oversold yet. So, you know, and if this has some real dump power here, if we're going to dump, you're definitely going to see this come a lot lower, okay? You can see in the past when we're bearish, it can get much lower. Okay, so and this is the thing, you had a low here, higher low, slightly higher low, higher low, higher low, and now we're forming lower lows. So if we do get a bounce, we could start this high, bounce, lower high, lower low. Okay, so we could get a bounce, but we're still in a lower high trajectory. Okay, so we're going to have to see that change. I hope this is helpful to everyone. Just stay calm. We talked about last week, I said, guys, we're overextended. I didn't want to be the one to say, hey, don't buy any alts. What if we just kept going? But I did warn everybody, have a tight stop loss, use stop loss, take profit, because a pullback will happen. So if you didn't take any of that advice, you saw your altcoins drop 20%. I hope you didn't panic sell. But this is how the market goes. This is crypto, man. This is crypto right here. Okay, let's look at our Heikin Ashi and we'll close out. Heikin Ashi. The Heikin Ashi is a good trending candle. You want to look at both the regular candlesticks and you want to look at the Heikin Ashi. The Heikin Ashi, once they turn green, they stay green. Once they turn red, they stay red for a while. And you can see we're still putting in bearish Heikin Ashis on the 4-hour, the 12-hour, bearish, the daily, bearish. So, look at these in the past, just using Heikin Ashi. Okay, of course, when we were in our uptrend, we had a few days here, like almost a week of red Heikin Ashi, so we could get something like that too. Okay, but you can see green for a while, red for a while, green for a while, red for a while. And right now we're still red on the daily. Our 2-day putting in fresh bearish candles. The 3-day, you're putting in your first one. This is looking, could this just be this right here or this right here? Very possibly. But this is a reversal Heikin Ashi. You have the wicks on both sides and it is red currently, okay? So could this be that or that and just a little, pit stop on our rally higher? Possibly. Or this could be the beginning of this right here, okay? Just keep that in mind. On the weekly still green, but you have your first, this is the first one out of this row of weekly Heikin Ashis. We have wicks on both sides. So this could be a reversal weekly Heikin Ashi, the same that we had here, okay? And just to keep the hopium alive, the monthly is still bullish, okay? Monthly is still bullish. So there you guys go. We've taken a look at a lot here, and I hope you're prepared. But, just take it slow. And if you're stressed out, it means that you have too much on the table, basically. Limit your risk, okay? Anyways, y'all have a great week. We'll have to see how this price action plays out this week. This is Crypto Rolly, the crypto watch that never stops. And I'll see you next time.